Geetha Didi is a consistent volunteer of University of Human Values, as many of us are familiar with Geetha Didi. Dr. A. Geetha, she is an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science, Government Arts and Science College, Avinashi, Tamil Nadu. She attended her first introductory workshop in November 2020 and UHP2 in January 2021. And she has been very active in participation in the larger order. For example, in volunteering work, she is moderating the weekly meetings regularly, and she is conducting sessions in the Students Development Program. And she is a team member of Tamil translation work, and she has been co-facilitating in a few of the face-to-face FDPs, and she has been very active in this recently concluded international conference also. So a very consistent volunteer who is like a model volunteer for all of us. So with this brief introduction, I welcome Geetha Didi to offer her sharing in the morning session. Over to you, Geetha Didi.
Thank you, Sunil Bhaiya. Namaste to all. As Sunil Bhaiya has introduced about myself, let me go on to my family. My husband is running My husband is running typewriting institute Xerox, and he does computer job work. And our son is Monish, and my daughter-in-law name is Abhi. As Bhaiya has stated, I got associated with UHV from November 2020 during the pandemic. I am attending the UHV morning session from Jan to 2021, that is, from batch to almost regularly. Since I did not prepare and ready for my sharing on 1/12/24, I postponed it today. I apologize for that. Preparing for this morning session or morning sharing is like an appraisal for me. After every batch, I share to evaluate where do I stand now. It is very, very encouraging and promising as I am progressing slowly but consistently. For me, UHV is a way of life. It is a way of living. It is helping me to understand the purpose and meaning of my life and how to lead a fulfilling life. Sharing my understanding emerging out of exercise 1 and exercise 2. Exercise 1, step 1 is to observe my imagination, particularly the feelings without reaction. Over the period of time, by practice and effort, my observation has increased a lot. But still, most of the time, I am operating in the dimension of thought. I have to work upon myself to focus on my feelings. The more I observe, the more I'm getting benefit from it. I am clear that all the remaining steps are based on step 1. So this step 1 is very, very challenging, but the outcome motivates me to pursue more and more the exercise 1 and 2. If I am able to catch my feelings, then steps 2 and 3 follows in quick succession. I can give some examples. I was having a strong feeling of opposition towards one of my colleagues. Whenever I remember him or hear his name, that itself generates a feeling of opposition to make me unhappy. Similarly, once at a wedding, one of my cousin and me came face to face. I smiled and thought she will stop and talk to me. But she passed me as if unnoticed. At that very moment, I felt humiliated and became upset. Though I am not observing my imagination all the times, whenever I became unhappy, like these incidents, that feeling itself draws my attention. Then step 4. Who decided this feeling at this moment? Previously, I was blaming other persons outside environment, outside situations. But now I am very clear. I can state some examples which drawed my attention that it is me who is deciding the feeling at that moment. Once my class attendance register was missing. Immediately I suspected one student. He could have taken it, destroyed it. Then I got frightened because it is an important document. Then I came to know that the register was left in the lab itself by another staff. Immediately I felt sorry for that student. It drew my attention how my feelings flipped. When missing, a feeling of opposition towards that student, which was making me unhappy. Then, when it was found, again a feeling of relationship, which was making me happy. Another example. Recently, I had put on weight. Some dresses have become unfit for me. The moment I remember that dress is not going to fit me, immediately a feeling of opposition, then I will become unhappy. So there are lots of examples, and I am very clear that it is me who is deciding my feelings, and I am 100% responsible for my feelings. Then step 5. On what basis I decided my feelings? Is it based on right understanding or assumption? With that 3 examples, with respect to that student, I was able to see my assumptions. Since he lacks attendance, I suspected him. And for my cousin also, I had the assumption that she is purposely avoiding me. Then, regarding the dresses, I always wanted my dresses to fit me perfectly, irrespective of whether I gain or lose weight. So, in all the 3 cases, I have decided my feelings based on my assumptions, and because of that, I became unhappy. Once I become aware that I am upset because of my cousin who avoided me, then I thought, what would be with right understanding? Then I decided to choose the feeling of relationship, harmony, and coexistence, and not opposition, disharmony, and struggle, because I want to be happy. Then my thoughts went like this: might be she also noticed me, but because of some other urgent work, she hurried me. When I had this thought, this feeling, I felt total peace. So I can see, if I have assumption, how I'm becoming unhappy. If I have right understanding, how I'm getting peace. Then coming to step 6A, which feelings are naturally acceptable to you? Because of difference of opinion, there was lots of misunderstanding between me and my spouse. But now, after this 11th morning batch, I can see and feel the power of relationship, harmony, and coexistence over the feeling of opposition, disharmony, and struggle. I can see now I am at ease and comfort with him most of the time, in spite of our difference of opinions. I understood the true meaning of complementarity. Truly, life has become so beautiful and fulfilling to me. Step 6B. I'm working for right understanding in its completeness. Step 7. If I flow with the stream, I am at ease. But if I swim against the flow, so much effort and force is required. Similarly, if I have the feeling of relationship, harmony, and coexistence, I can be happy and prosperous continuously and not otherwise. Life is simple, but we complicate it. Yes, I can see for myself how I complicated it by choosing the feelings of opposition, disharmony, and struggle. So, this is about exercise 1. Then, moving to exercise 2, step 1 and 2. Now, I am clear that self and body are two distinct entities, but space is still a question mark to me. I am able to logically see that only because of space, self and body are able to transact information between them. Otherwise, it can't. That much is clear to me. Steps 3 and 4. It is the self that decides what to read and when to read sensations from the body. A small example for this. I listen to morning session during my morning walk. And if someone known to me stops to speak to me, I will be interacting with them. And at those moments, Gopal Bhaya's words are reaching my ears. The sensation is reaching my ears. But since I am not reading that sensation, I miss what was shared by Bhaya. When I observe and focus, I can see that body is my instrument, but not otherwise, and not all the time. Then I am not able to see the difference between the self and body. They are two separate entities, that I am sure. Then moving to step 5. It is a very, very important step to me. The whole crux lies in this step. The meaning I am giving to that sensation. Here, my sanskar comes into picture. My predominant sanskar is ego. Let me give few examples. For my higher authorities, family members, friends, I call back immediately if I miss their call. But when it is for some juniors, students, scholars, I don't call back. My ego surfaces. Similarly, for postponing this sharing also, I can see why I postponed. First, I didn't prepare for this. I didn't prepare for this sharing. That's the reason. Because of lack of preparation, there was fear within me. And behind the fear, there was my ego. Because I thought my sharing has to be appreciated and I must give my best. Then, my next dominant sanskar is to always expect good feelings, words from others about me. That is, no one should talk ill of me. Because of this sanskar, I was trapped as a victim most of the time. Because I identify myself strongly with those words. Though it could have been said only one time by the other person, I will repeat and remember it for more than 100 times. After this 11th batch, I got the clarity how I am mapping myself with those words. I am not those words. I am a higher dimension of self, but still I under-evaluate myself, limit myself to those words and suffer because of it. Still, I remember the response of Gopal Bhaiya on the other day. I am getting victim because I am not aware of my potential. If I am aware, I will not become a victim. Instead, I will make a right program with that person. Thank you, Gopal Bhaiya, for that big shift within me. With so much ease and comfort, I move with that person who had made a false allegation against me. My other sanskars are always feeling high of myself, anxiety, jealous, laziness, limiting myself, doubting others, being judgmental, etc. Then moving to steps 6A and B. After a hectic schedule at college, if I come back home, there are there are two possibilities: to do the household chores with complaints or without complaints. If I ensure right understanding within myself, I will know my responsibility as an individual and as a member in the family. I will do the tasks comfortably, which is my response. But if I lack right understanding, then I will be influenced by my assumptions. Why should I alone do this task daily? What about other members in the family? A boring, monotonous task to do, very drudgery. Then I will have feeling of opposition. Then I will start to react, creating chaos within me and in the family. So I can see how I respond if my samskar is based on right understanding and how I react if it is based on assumption. Then moving to step 7. Space is still an assumption for me, but I strongly believe it's only because of space all units exist in coexistence. And the underlying fundamental reality, existence is coexistence, is only because of space. So, this is my understanding about exercise 2. Coming to happiness is my innate nature. Yes, happiness is my innate nature. It is the very design of existence itself, and it is reflecting in me as well as natural acceptance. So, as a proposal, it's clear to me, as I have experientially validated it. The next task is to experience it all the moments, and I am working for it. Then coming to the commitments. Sunil Bhaiya has already shared my commitments, but still, I am volunteering myself in the Sunday weekly meetings and monthly meetings. I am also a part in UHV Tamil translation team, handling some sessions in student workshops, also acting as a co-facilitator in face-to-face workshops, attending morning sessions almost regularly, volunteering myself, sharing values, and self-exploration are daily reinforcing me towards right understanding. But still, I'm sure that I need to volunteer more, explore more, contribute more, and definitely I will continue my UHV journey for the rest of my life. Today also, I have requested my son and daughter-in-law to listen to my sharing. Hope they are listening. Thank you all for this opportunity and with gratitude to the entire existence. Once again, thank you all. Sunil Bhaiya, over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Didi. It is always a treat to listen to you. And your sharing now depicts that you have been improving a lot in your own self exploration, and that is encouraging many of the co explorers in that line. I have been listening to you for many of your sharings in the past, and I can see this tremendous change within you. Nice, Didi. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Very
Bhaiya.
inspirational sharing, sincere sharing, I would say. Now we have a couple of hands raised by the co-explorers, maybe for questions to you.
Namaste, Bhaiya.
Very nice to hear you in the morning, and it is really boosting words as told by Sunil Bhaiya. Didi, one thing I'm not getting from your every sharing or RP development submission everywhere, you are
Hmm.
having that what that is called as for self false allegations, something you are all the time. But I think if I'm talking about myself, if I am taking that allegations as false, so why I should be in opposition? So that is a simple question. Please, thank you.
Ji, Bhaiya. Bhaiya, that is my sanskar, Bhaiya. I want everyone to always have good opinions, good feelings with me.
Ji.
If it is not, then easily I succumb to those words.
Mm-hmm.
because I am identifying with those words.
Ji.
I can't take false allegation just like that. It affects me a lot.
Ji.
I am
But
trapped
yeah.
by those words, Bhaiya. That is for
Yeah,
sure.
that's why
But
I'm means we were there in conference also. You are doing a lot, you are helping, you are very much complimentary. But when the word allegation and false, it means this is automatically it is correct. Means, this is not allegation, na. If it is allegation, then okay. But if it is false allegation, then it is means I have not to do anything with that because the word itself. Thank you,
yeah,
Ji
that is
Didi.
true, Bhaiya. But
Yeah.
at those moments, uh, since I am not aware,
Ji,
I get trapped, Bhaiya.
Ji. Thank you.
Maybe
You are
Bhaiya,
जी गीता जी थैंक्स अ लॉट फॉर हेल्पिंग मी अ लॉट नमस्ते नमस्ते सभी को
we
धन्यवाद
are each other, Bhaiya. Thank you so much.
So those examples which you have put in between your sharing, they are very helpful in connecting to the steps. And as Prashant Bhaiya said, your complementary part is very evident through your activities in volunteering as well as sharing.
Namaste.
Very nice sharing. And since from the beginning, I am listening you from the morning batches when I started from this batch, and your questions are very much thought provoking and make me understand a lot how to lead, observe and practical life, how to lead. And my question is, because you are, I feel from your sharing, you are a little bit struggling to change your sanskars or transform yourself. A lot of work you are doing. But my question is, generally mental health affect a lot of impact on physical health. So, do you have any such observations in you because of your sanskars affected your physical health and anything such happen? Do you have any such observations? Just I would like to know.
Ji, Bhaiya. Bhaiya, right from sharing one, I have shared
Yeah.
that for the past 2 decades, I'm having wheezing problem. That's similar to asthma.
That's all.
Previously, Bhaiya, I was thinking that it was due to dust allergy because of weather, etc.
Yes.
But over these past 4 years, I am clear, Bhaiya, it is not the
Yes.
weather, it is not the dust allergy. It's only because of my conflicts in my thoughts.
Yeah. Very nice.
That conflict, Bhaiya, immediately disturbs me and it affects my body. Bhaiya, the moment I think that I'm going to be late for college, though I'll be having 5 to 10 minutes and I can reach very well. But the thought I'm getting late, that disturbs me because I want to prove that I'm always sincere, I'm regular, I'm punctual. That sanskar behind it. So the thought affects my body and immediately I will get wheezing, Bhaiya. So many times I have experienced this, that that conflict in my thoughts affect my body, thereby disturbing my mental health as well as my physical body, Bhaiya. Hope
Yeah.
I'm able
Nice.
to answer your query, Bhaiya.
Yeah. Now, do you find any improvement in that change?
But self-wise, that is the mental-wise, I'm getting stable, Bhaiya. But uh, I have not still overcome my wheezing.
That's it.
Still, I'm using inhaler. But that is the benchmark for me, Bhaiya. If I'm able
Sure.
to get over my wheezing problem, then I can sure, Bhaiya, that my conflicts have reduced a lot. So I have kept that as a benchmark for me, Bhaiya.
Very nice observation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bhaiya, for that question.
Now, I request Gopal Bhaiya to give his comments regarding Geetha Didi's sharing. Gopal Bhaiya, over to you now.
Namaste, Didi.
Namaste, Bhaiya.
Namaste. So nice sharing, Didi. And we all can see that you are very regular in these sessions. And you also participate very enthusiastically, very honestly. I can see shift in approach. So earlier, your way of asking the question, the approach in asking the question. Now, few days back, when you asked the question, there is a shift in approach. As you said that your approach was always that other people are making me suffer. But now you are able to see that I am sufferer because I am holding suffering. And suffering is not holding me, I am holding suffering. So this difference I should realize. So once I was reading a book and I read this line that suffering is holding me or I am holding the suffering. So generally we hold the suffering. And we hold the suffering because of ego. And why we are in ego? Because of ignorance. What I am ignoring? Ignoring the reality. So ignorance of reality leads to ego. And due to this ego, I suffer many things. I suffer from people around us. I suffer from circumstances that are not conducive to me. And due to this ego, I force others to change according to me. So this approach dominates us. So my whole focus becomes to change other people according to my thought, my feeling. And it again creates suffering in us. Right? But as I said, you explored yourself, you understood the process, and after multiple round of question and answer, now your approach is changing. Now you are becoming aware that suffering is not because of others. It is me. It is me, and because of my ego, I am becoming sufferer. So once I am aware that I am becoming sufferer, then I search for a solution. And this UHV process is giving a solution in terms of process. So now your sanskars are melting day by day. That I can see. And you can also see in yourself. As you also shared that your approach is changing day by day. And once I am clear that people around us act according to their sanskar, not according to my sanskar. But what feeling can I have? What thoughts can I have? That depends on my sanskar. Right? So if I am aware of these facts, then I can be peaceful. Right? And people takes time to change themselves because we all in the process, and this ego is in very depth in each one of us. So there is a need to shift. So need to shift from thought to feeling, feeling to sanskar, sanskar to ego, to observe ego. And all this can happen with the state of pure observer. So ultimately, this process is helping us to be in that state where I can see that I am holding suffering, I am holding my ego. That is creating, that is affecting my sanskar, that is affecting my feeling, thought. So once I am able to see it, then I can evaluate it easily. So this awareness that unhappiness is because of my own sanskar. This helps a lot to work. It motivates us to work upon ourselves. So that you have understood, Didi, but it takes time to change our sanskar. It not an easy task because we are having many sanskars. of past that are lying down in us in very depth. So important point is that we have got process. We are changing our approach, and very soon we will be able to solve all my sanskar, resolve all my sanskar in align with this harmonious relationship and coexistence. So that is reflecting in your sharing day by day, that now your approach is changing. That's why you are feeling relaxed. So nice, Didi. Best wishes, and I hope you will continue this next session also. And whenever Geetha Didi talked me, she always talked about this scenario, as Bhaiya was saying, false allegation. But soon Didi was able to cope up this issue up to some extent. So I don't know whether it is solved fully or not, but up to some extent, Didi was able to cope up with this issue. And it has happened because of changing in approach. So people are around us, we need to reevaluate our approach. So people are not going to change according to me, but I can see my sanskar without getting affected from it. So this process is very important. It process can make us relax. So that's very important. And Geetha Didi is doing very hard work, and she is also very courageous. She is also, her sanskar are also brave, because she doesn't give up the things. She fight with his sanskar. So that's very nice, Didi. So best wishes, Didi. Keep it exploring.
Thank you so much, Bhaiya.
That's all from my side.
Ji, Bhaiya. I will still work upon myself, Bhaiya. I have noted your comments also, Bhaiya. Thank you so much, Bhaiya. Thank you, all the co-explorers. Thank you so much.